Thank you so much for staying tuned to this channel. It's this morning on ITV. We have two important topics to really talk about today. So I want to crave it, don't just to sit back, watch, listen, and of course get informed about what we are to talk about. The first one before us is the petroleum industry bill. That's what the first topic, and of course contending issues. While the second one is what is really going on when you talk about the recruitment of Executive Council of Edo State Government. The process itself, many persons have so much to say about it. But since talking about economy, talking about wealth of the nation, talking about the host communities, I wanted to start off with the petroleum industry bill, contending issues. It's been on for quite a long time. You get to hear agitations here and there. Some are saying you should deregulate the upstream and the downstream sector. And of course, you give host communities at least 10%, at least 10%. That was some years ago. All of a sudden, the bill was passed in the House, but with a little bit of alterations. 3% host communities, and of course 30% oil exploration in the north. And to some Nigerians, it's a welcome development, while to some others, this is not the bargain. It's not cool in their own sense. Why to a very minute percentage of population in Nigeria, they feel somehow indifferent about it. With me here in the studio to talk about this, I have engineer Ahemokwe Lukman, a political analyst, political affairs commentator. Welcome to TMI, Sunday's edition. Engineer.
Thank you.
All right. So very close to him, he is one of, the voices of the Niger Delta region. Join me to welcome Chief Don Ben Doyiga. Chief Don Ben, welcome to TMI Sunday's edition.
It's a pleasure, Wilson.
All right. I choose to start off from this region because it affects the south, it affects the north, it affects the nation as a whole. And also talking about, giving financial inclination to the host communities, oil exploration for the north and some other parts of Nigeria. Let me come to you, Lukman. What do you feel about what is happening right now in the House? The bill has been passed. Nigerians are thinking that when this is passed, we'll have peace. But it's like peace eluding the process. Why the different reactions due to the passage of this bill in the House?
Thank you, Frank. First and foremost, I would want the public to understand what the bill is all about by just putting a kind of summary of what it is. The PIB bill was actually intended to regulate and make the industry efficient and attractive for investors and participants to be part of it. Now, in doing that, if you look at the entire bill, it's about 5 chapters. We have the first chapter deals with chapter 1. It deals with governance and institutions. The chapter 2 deals with the administrative framework. While the chapter 3 deals with the host community development, the chapter 4 deals with the fiscal administration. And all the things that are not in these 4 chapters are now approximated into the chapter 5, which is miscellaneous. Now, when you go to governance and institutions, they are basically 4. The powers of the Minister for Petroleum. We have the commission, regulatory commission for upstream. We have an authority for midstream and downstream. We have the NNPC Limited. These 4 categories of governance and institutions form the bulwark of the entire bill. Now, the upstream has to do with initial exploration, data gathering, surveys, down to everything that is done within the industry that brings oil, finds oil and brings it to the surface. That's upstream. Then the midstream is whatever you do that takes the oil through pipelines, transportation, all those activities that take the oil to the crude oil to storage, that's midstream. Then when you take it for refining, and the process of getting it to the end user is the downstream. So these things are done. Most of these things were locked up in NNPC, perhaps DPR. But right now, what they have decided to do is to ensure NNPC will not be a law unto itself. You are doing business, you are regulating yourself. And it creates a kind of amorphous superstructure that panders to corruptions and misgovernance. So what has just been done now is that you take upstream, set up a commission to regulate all the activities there, then downstream and midstream, lump them together, set up an authority to regulate them. NNPC is now going to be NNPC Limited. Exactly. To do business like any other business and make profits. So by so doing, metrics, key performance indicators are set for the managers and the people who are going to govern the place to ensure that at the end of every fiscal year, profits are declared, losses are declared. So I think the bill is fine on that region. So, but the vexing issue, which is the host community development and the allocation of certain percentage for what we call frontiers basin exploration. So these are the vexing issues, which I think with time we're going to talk about.
Yes, we'll go into that with time, as you rightly talked about. Don Ben, you heard him, he said he was able to give a solid foundation for this discussion, talked about the various aspects, upstream, downstream, midstream, and of course taking the power from NNPC, because it cannot be judge, jury, and executioner in your own case. You have to be accountable to someone. Talking about the paragraph he talked about, I mean, this ought to be a cool deal when you talk about the petroleum industry bill and everyone involved in it.
Well, thank you. Listen, my brother, Lukman, has said it all when he gave a very robust analysis of the background of the petroleum industrial bill, which I think I was a part of in the commission of that bill sometime in Calabar about 12 years back with my president, Ledumiti of Ogoni Republic. You know, there are some critical things that this government is doing that sound good for some persons, then there are some terrible things that they are doing that also affect the general public, in particular the Niger Delta region. Now, we have been very, very angry when in time past we discovered that most of the oil wells, the oil mineral license, were allocated to the north. We've now come out of that anger. Try to see how we can be able to at least work together, pari passu, infrastructure and other things, trying to make sure that we build trust in government. They came up with this PIB bill. Previously, the NDDC component came on board. Later on, we find out that the Northeast Development Commission was also formed for the North. It's like you are trying to now say, if you do this, if we give you this, we are going to do this for ourselves. Then, on the other hand, the amnesty program was proclaimed in December 2009. After the amnesty proclamation, you know, the arms were submitted, demobilization, we are now in the reintegration process. Later on, Boko Haram sprang up. You are now saying that those persons who killed willingly, the herdsmen who kill willingly, the bandits who kill willingly, Boko Haram who kill as, you know, the way they like, you will now say, okay, you are going to set up amnesty for them again. So it's an aberration. Now the petroleum industrial bill has come on straight. It has given a solid background of everything. You cannot see, you can now see a situation whereby we say that some of our legislators from the South region, they are one of our problems too. Why I'm saying this, I'm saying it without fear or favor.
You said some of them, not all of them, according to your own comments.
Yes.
Okay.
The legislator we have in the House of Rep, the Senate, some of them are just like rubber stamps there. Because before this bill was passed, they have a preview of all the analysis, all the write-up on all the components of that bill. They have preview of it. The clauses that are not beneficial to the region, they saw them. So why must they put their hands and allow the Senate President to pass this bill? And there are two contending issues here. The House of Rep is advocating for 5%. The Senate is now saying 3%. So there is a lot of controversy in the whole of all these things. And when they came for public hearing, headed by Senator James Manager in the Niger Delta region, we told them categorically clear, even the senators, they said they will assure us that it will not be less than 10%. And we have that trust, and we believe that their word will be their bound. So when you see the kind of things that surrounding this whole process, it's annoying. I call this bill concerning this 5% or 3% that is given to the Niger Delta as a Greek gift.
As a Greek gift?
It's a Greek gift.
The Trojan horse?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
And
I will.
Excuse me, Wilson. The 30% that you are saying that is meant for air exploration, which oil are you going to exploit or not?
We'll come to that. Just calm down. This I'll tell you, step on it. Watch your emotions. You're going to build up gradually.
Right.
Do you think that there were changes made to the bill? Because this bill has been there for quite a long time. Talked about 10%. Right now we're having 3% from the Senate, as against 5% from the House of Representatives, and as against also what the region desired, 10%. Were there alterations?
Sure. When they came for public consultations led by James Manager, I was there at Imagwero.
Yes.
And all issues that were propounded by the host communities, they were clear. I don't understand the kind of country we run. A country where in laying a foundation for a critical issue that has to do with security of investment, you lay a faulty foundation. I can tell you that this bill, this issue of 3%, is like trying to create another set of problems in the Niger Delta. I can tell you categorically that if a host community is not happy with the way its environment is degraded by the exploration activities, I will tell you that the money those who pass this 3% are trying to save, they will spend more on security assets of that place. Market. The most assurable way to create a good, a sustainable environment for a company to operate is to enhance the happiness and satisfaction of a host community. If you create a bill, you sit in the comfort of the chambers, and because you think you are trading, you think you can suppress people. What the people want, the host community told you 10%. I thought that the minimum they would have given is like 7.5%. So that the people will feel happy. The host community will be satisfied. Then you, in the comfort of your office in Abuja, you bring it down to 3%. That is not acceptable to them because you believe you want to pass the bill is law. Then we are waiting for any investor to come to this host community and put his investment and assets. So I can tell you,
hold on now.
I'm telling you that this is,
calm down.
we are already seeing it. We are looking at the issues. So I don't know how they are going to administer this bill in the host communities. That's the problem we have. So I think that they have to go back. They have to check the conscience. The host communities were well organized. And they told them across board, from Ondo State down to Rivers to Calabar, they told them that this is what we want. For you to come and degrade our environment and take these mineral resources out of the place. Then you went to Abuja and do the negative and another thing. Then you expect there will be peace. So this is the problem. It's not it's not a threat, but I'm just envisaging.
Okay, what might happen?
What might happen to this bill here?
All right. Now let me come to you, Don Ben. You heard me say this may lead to something distasteful in the Niger Delta region, but you talked about the reps from the region because they were there when this bill was passed, because it was the Niger region that really pressed for this petroleum industry bill. Yes. So if they're the one that pressed for it, how come they are not happy about the outcome of what they are seeing? They've been pushing for this for years right now, and bam, is here. Nigerians are saying, yes, this is what we're clamoring for. So why is the region complaining? After all, we have representatives that saw this, and still it was passed. After all, the deputy Senate president, so to speak, is from the region.
Omar Agege, right? Call his name.
Please carry on.
Omar Agege, I know. Let me tell you something. When you bring in ethnicity and you bring in political affiliation in what is due for your people, you compromise because you belong to AYZ party. You are putting your region into a very big state of comatose. That is number 1 point. And if you bargain with the mandate of your people, you are digging your grave. I've said it time without number in this place here, that the next line of action that we, the agitators, will always do, we go after our representative in Abuja. It will now serve as a lesson to them that you are representing us, you are not representing yourself. You are not representing your private pocket. Because before this 30% come, it's not only 30% that they allocated for themselves that is in that bill. Even the gas flare, the gas that is being flared in Gelegele, the gas flared in Oben, in Ikobi, Igwalaba, in Ologbo, in places like Jones Creek, in places like maybe Ondo State, cut across board, Okreka and the rest of the world, in Bonny Island, they are saying that that gas flare, whatever the right to come, belongs to the federal government. What about the end sufferers of that gas flare? So when you look at these things, this old bill, I think before it was passed, it has been cooked, and some persons compromised because they always believe in grease my palm, and I know I will compromise and do this thing for you. But you are doing it to the detriment of people and your children yet unborn. It's not our generation. That is why when my brother said that when people come and invest, they might see some kind of resistance and see some kind of hiccup on the way. It's not far from the truth. I've been there. I have agitated for the Niger Delta struggle. So I know what is obtainable when our people say we are not going to do it. This is not all about the Ijo extraction. This entire Niger Delta issue. Remove ethnic nationality from this one. We are talking about passion for the Niger Delta and not a particular ethnic nationality. So I am saying that there should, as a matter of urgent, just like what our national leader, Chief Ike Kagbodo, clerk of Pandef, told them that go and review this bill again before you take it to the president for his assent. Because we know that there are cabals ruling in this country. We know.
But you cannot prove that.
No, it is there. Because one thing is that if you are giving, like what they said in that bill, that 30% will be used to look for oil production. What is the oil companies or NNPC, MPDC, what have they been the integrated data services? IDS, what have they been doing with the money that have been allocated for them in the board of NNPC? Are they playing with that money? How long will they continue to explore oil in the north? Recently, they said that they have oil in commercial quantity. Where is the oil in commercial quantity in the north? If you say you have oil in commercial quantity in the north, what are you not exploring for again? And you are even taking this money to the Lake Chad Basin to go and explore oil. What has Nigeria got to do with Lake Chad Basin? For God in heaven's sake. So it's like cowing people trying to use our money to build a country of their own. Because when you know that when you turn something upside down, you know that there's no water that will come out of that coconut. Don't waste your time.
All right.
It will not be possible because I don't see oil coming out from that Lake Chad Basin.
Okay,
it's
well,
not possible.
When you say oil, since you are not in that region, you don't know if
why are they laying pipes from the Niger Delta to that Lake Chad if you know you are exploring oil? The pipes are being laid from the Niger Delta to Lake Chad Basin. If you are laying that way, why laying the pipe to Lake Chad Basin? So you are now saying that after laying your pipe from tapping our oil to Lake Chad Basin, then you now use caricature and take our oil from the back door, from our money from the back door. You now say this is the money that you use in achieving that aim.
Okay, Don, I will come back to you. Now, is the bone
So
of
is that what am I
contention the 30%? Now, what if there was a 30% issued or given or allotted to the northern region? Would have been this agitation or disagreement?
Let me tell you, recently we saw a video where someone from the north was claiming that the oil assets in the south, in Bayelsa,
belongs to them.
were developed by the money they got from Granite Pyramids. I'm surprised. I am in the oil industry, and I am even shocked that we are now going to be doing oil exploration with our own money. But what I know in the oil industry, which I thought was the intendment of the PIB, is to create a legal framework that makes foreign investment, foreign inflow of money into the industry attractive. If you feel that by virtue of some information, geological information are valuable to you, that oil will be in the north, I expected that what is needed is for you to provide an enabling environment for Shell, for Chevron to move in. The oil we are drilling today in the Niger Delta was not developed by our money. It was found, geological information data showed clearly that oil exploration is profitable. And oil blocks were allocated. As I'm talking to you, I'm dealing with the imaginary field now, where we have been given offer by DPR, and we have done the business analysis and proposal. We are about to pay the signature bonus of 2.5 billion, and the data which we bought from DPR and the business model we have created for farming in of investors is making it attractive, and we have already getting offers from foreign investors that are trying to move in to develop the field. This is how oil exploration and production is done anywhere in the world.
Are you not saying that there's no process of oil exploration in the northern part of the country?
When you want to explore, it is not the duty to bring out your money. The way this money they are trying to 30% ago is just an amorphous way of taking money out of the public purse. If you really want to develop and produce oil in any region of this country, your duty, you have an IDSL there, and they partner with foreign organizations to gather enough data. When you have enough seismic data, geological survey data, you now create a business model that is attractive. First, allocate the oil blocks. The people pick up these oil blocks, other certain sets of rules that are created. Now, these oil blocks, those who got them, perhaps they have money to pay their signature bonuses, and they now do what we call farming out. So when you farm out, investors will naturally flow in for the exploration and production, which is the upstream, which will now be regulated by the Commission for Upstream Regulatory System that is meant to, if you look at the Commission for Upstream Regulatory Commission, there are two regulations they are doing. There's what we call the technical regulation, and we have to do with commercial regulations. These are there are details, and these are what foreign investors.
So, from what you're saying right now, that 30% is not called for.
It's not called for. It's just it's a ruse. It's a fraud. It's not called for at all.
But that's saying they need it for oil exploration in the
Why
region.
do you take your money to? If you think, what data have you gathered? What is IDSL doing?
Okay.
What data have you gathered that made you to be popping 30% of our money to explore for oil, especially in an insecure? Who is going to, if you are Shell, will you take your money to a Boko Haram infested area?
Good question.
So these are the issues.
Okay.
So the things that are needed for the foreign, because that was the intendment. I was part and parcel of the framing of this PIB. The intendment of the PIB is that we don't have a regulatory framework that will enable foreign investment to flow in. So why are you now creating the PIB and allocating money you are getting to go and explore oil in another region?
Good question.
This is a rules.
But hold on. Is it all about the money?
Oh, it's not all about the money.
Because according to what both of you agree to, others from what they wrote there is cool, is okay.
No, even
but say for the 30, this is a 3% derivation. Is it all about the money?
Well, one, the 3% and the 5%, whatever, is unacceptable by the entire Niger Delta.
It's unacceptable.
That's number one point. Because when we heard this public hearing, when the James Manager led the delegation from Abuja, the joint committee, so the Niger Delta, we all agreed unanimously that it has to be 50%.
50%?
Yes, we said 50% because that is where you are getting the oil from. With much plea and the whole thing, they visually they were on their knees begging, please, you critical stakeholders will know that we cannot succeed without your input. Please, we are senators representing your area. I think with the body language of other senators in the north, I think they can make do and at least accept 10%. You don't beg for what you have. For God in heaven's sake, you don't beg for what you have. You understand what I'm saying? So we now say, okay, no problem. Since our people, they are mediating, our people are also in the green and in the yellow chamber and the red chamber, let us see what we can do. So we have to lie low and accept it reluctantly. The 10% was accepted reluctantly, thinking that even in their own initiative, like what my brother said, if they want to even get something and a little bit, maybe it could be 8%. But to the surprising of our own eyes, you now stab us behind us and say 3%. It's an insult. My own take on this is this. My brother, what will not be, will not be. There's no how you can force the horse to ride on its back. It's not possible. You can't use our phone, stylishly use our phone to form your Boko Haram.
Hold on. This is where I put my foot down. Please. That allegation is unfounded. Please, let's be guarded.
I know.
Let's be guarded, please.
I'm sorry for using that. But what I want to say is that with the tense situation in this country, the security challenges, you can't use our region to tactically acquire money for your private pocket. Let me put it that way. Because all what we are seeing in this whole thing, they are all jamborees. Who are they? The Niger Delta, I think, gradually the ethnic nationality that is doing this rubbish, that is doing this to the entire Niger Delta, because it's not only applicable to Niger Delta. Even the southwest, the southeast, all of them are suffering the same thing. What I am saying here is that you don't make your region or your ethnic nationality become a public enemy to the entire Niger Delta region. Because these persons that you are trying to cow, that you are stepping on their foot every day, all of them can come up and rise up one day against you. And heaven will not fall. So what I'm saying here is that they should go back to the drawing board before the president assent or append his signature to this bill. We want that 10%. Let them revert it to that 10%.
So it's all about the money.
Yes. The money is not conducive in hearing. And not only that, the gas money that is in the PIB bill that I said is owned by the government. Please, they should go and rewrite that portion of the PIB bill and say the money that is accruable to or that is derived from the oil and gas exploration, especially the gas play money, should be given to the host community, because they are the direct sufferers of whatever economic degradation, whatever exploration that is going on in terms of health, in terms of aquatic lives. They are all gone. So you cannot give such money to people that are sitting in their confined zone in Abuja.
Okay.
So that is my take.
Look, man.
Yes. Yeah. Let me tell you, we are just, I don't know what is happening to us as a people. When you go out of this country, I've been opportune. If you go to Canada now, the province where oil is found or produced is Calgary province. Go there. The environment, the wealth, the serenity of Calgary is the same with Ontario, the capital city. Go to US. Oil is found in Houston, Texas region. Go to Texas and Houston. Is it like Niger Delta? Go to UAE. The region you found oil is Abu Dhabi. I worked there. I worked with, in fact, the national oil company there is not Emirate National Oil Company, it's Abu Dhabi National Oil Corporation, ADNOC. I worked there. Go to Abu Dhabi and go to the region of Almaz, Harwais, and all those regions.
So saying the regions are well taken
care of. Go to Saudi, you will see all these things I'm telling you. Go to Kuwait, it's the same. Now, if Nigeria is a serious country, why can't we go to these places and understudy the secrets behind the serenity and prosperity of oil explorations and productions in those regions? What these people are trying to do with this 30% thing, let me give you an instance. This similar PIB will also be done for solid minerals. Are you sure that in that National Assembly, solid minerals are predominantly in the north?
Yes.
In the northwest, you have gold from Bini, Kebi, Karna, Namuda, Triangle. It's a diamond and gold belt. All of us know what is going on there now. Can you tell me that a bill for, I want to give you an analogy, for solid minerals like this, will be promulgated in that National Assembly, and they will tell you that the money they are going to be getting for solid minerals in the north, 30% of it should be taken to the south for oil for solid mineral exploration. That is exactly what these people are trying to do. You don't need that. I am in the industry. I studied chemical engineering. I went for MBA oil and gas management. I understand how the oil industry works. If you want transnational investment inflow into your industry, there are certain things you should do. For instance, if you take 100% of our revenue that you want to explore oil in the Chad Basin, I can tell you no sane human being will plant his 1 naira in that place in the name of investment there.
Because of security situation.
Because of the security situation. Let me give you an example. Foreign, though it was done in an amorphous way, we're already moving into Zafara, Castina axis for exploration and mining of gold. But right now, what's happening there? Nobody, they have all moved out of that place. And you know what was going on? Because they found gold in Akoko Edo, Okpila, region of Edo State, they were trooping in. The foreign investors were getting interested in the gold because there is a commercial gold quantity in Akoko Edo in Edo State. And it was already creating some security situations, and the governor was alerted. And the governor took a proactive step and shut the place down. What is going on is that these investors are coming in, making inquiries to come to Akoko Edo in Edo State for gold mining. You know the reason? It is relatively safer. They are bringing their equipment, they are bringing their money to explore and mine. This is the way. If we feel that there is commercial quantity of oil in the north, producing it is not by taking money from somewhere and putting it there. First of all, secure the region. When you secure the region, there are venture capitalists around the world who are looking for businesses to do. So they will move in there and put their money. Your job is to just get the seismic and geotechnical survey data, make them available online, ensure that there is peace. They make their inquiries from their security international. They know, okay, this place is safe for our investment. That is all they need to do. Not trying to take money in the form of I want to invest it in frontier basin exploration and all that. This is all rules. For me, I don't think any sensible thing is there. That is not the way. Anywhere in the world, oil exploration and production is enhanced. No.
Okay, Pandef made a statement. They wrote to the federal government that are not so much in tune with the money orders they agree to, but that 3 versus 30%, that seems to be the bone of contention. Do you see them altering the bill to suit the people? What do you think should be the balancing point right now of all this? Revoke 30% or increase the 3% of the host communities?
Well, my brother, there are two dimensions of stealing. Either you steal by the gun or you steal by the pen. This one is a broad daylight robbery by the pen. And if you have seen somebody who is trying to cut away your properties, whether directly or indirectly, you stop that person. These 30% should be completely expunged from that bill.
Should be expunged.
Expunged, yes. You have to expunge it.
There's no compromise about that. Should be expunged from that bill. And what we advocate for, we would have said put our own and add that 30% that you create for your region and add it to this one to make it 33% for the Niger Delta.
You think they will just take a hook, line, and sinker?
No! Since you are putting a bottleneck,
Yeah.
you are trying to tell us that we are fools. You give us back our 30%. Or at most, what we all advocated for that we now agreed upon, you should implement the 10%. It's two ways. But this 30% should be completely expunged because it has no bearing in the PIB bill. And that is not a component of the act that bring the PIB bill. Like my brother said, thank God he is here. He has analyzed and give a broad base of what that bill is all about. Wow. He is being a part of the process of drafting that bill, which I was one of those persons that moved from one state to the other, make sure that that bill will make wide consultation before that bill was put together. For you to come and put some kind of, this is not democracy, my brother. I call this autocratic government.
Well, many will not agree to that. Many will not agree to that. That's part of fact.
It's like
many will not agree to that. Please, we are practicing democracy. Okay. Let's be guarded.
Please, even what I'm saying is that I'm saying it out of my emotions are high because I don't think that Nigerian today an intellectual because they have petroleum chemical engineers in the north. If they are in the same sequence thinking like my brother is here, they would have been able to do justice before this bill was brought to the house. Because they themselves, they are the ones that I think they'll come up together and say, do it like this, this is how we're going to fine-tune this whole thing. But if they have gone through, it's not only the people from the Niger Delta that are going to petroleum engineering schools, just like he is now. Those are the persons that are supposed to work with them. That come, look at this now, has come before. They would have called council of engineers, petroleum engineers, engineers, and electrical engineers. They will come together, put all this and analyze everything together. Then they will be the best persons to tell their legislators that this thing cannot work, no matter how you do it.
All right.
It would have been the best bet. Because this time around, you are now saying that other persons, they are second-class fiddle in this country. You are now the Superman, that you can even dictate in what is in my land, that this is what is applicable, and we will not take it like that. We cannot take this one like that, my brother.
All right. Okay, now to call it a wrap in this particular segment, this particular topic, the PIB contending issues, he proposed expunging 30% for oil exploration. What do you think should be the equilibrium right now in all of this agitation? Should it be expunged or the 3% should be increased?
10% is non-negotiable.
10%?
Yes, it is not a matter of rights. It's a matter of community affirmation. Take, for instance, in Edo State, the areas, Sobe, Giligili areas, where this oil is found, gas especially. If you take 1,000 people at random and you ask them, what do you think about oil exploration and production in your region? They see it as oppression, coming to take what belongs to them, degrade their environment, and you give them nothing. It's a consensus. It's a general community consensus. It's not me explaining it. So how do you? They think these white guys, these foreign investors are fools. They make their inquiries. They even understand the terrain, the issues better than us. I can tell you that the foreign investors you are trying to bring in, if they look at this bill, none of them will bring their money because they know that the people whose land is being devastated we resist it. Now, the only way is that, okay, let us take a commensurate percentage that the people will be happy with and give it to them. And when I, as an investor from abroad, okay, for instance, the farming aid that we are doing currently,
Yeah.
we have gotten offers from big corporations from abroad, and they come in. What the farming? What are they doing? We like, for instance, we are looking at about $120 million to farm in a certain percentage. They are already making offers as I'm talking to you. You know why? First, the place is
Safe.
It's safe. That's the number one thing. But the question they were now asking is that before we make our commitment, please, we want the PIB to come out so that we understand whether this serenity, this calmness is the calmness of the graveyard. Now it is past. I have forwarded it to them. And I can tell you that before Tuesday, they are going to come down after making their own inquiry. Say, look, man, I think this PIB is going to generate crisis. So we don't have $120 million to come and farm into a place where there will be crisis. And he's going to even ask me, after they have made their independent inquiry, how do your people feel about this 3%? And once they get the signal that 3% is not acceptable to the people, you are just wasting your time creating a bill. This is the issue. So how we advise the government, it's not a matter of somebody fighting for his right. It's a matter of a people who feel shortchanged in the exploitation of mineral resources in their backyard. Now, how do we, as human beings, like I said, go to US, ask them, they have petroleum industry bill. Go to Canada, they have. Go to Saudi Arabia, they have. Study their own and find out what is it that is making their place very, very calm and safe and secure for foreign investment. When you study them, you are able to now domesticate it based on the peculiar nature of your. Let them continue. What is causing this? Because certain regions of the country have majority. They can when the time comes, you can never build a safe and secured society on the altar of marginalization, on the altar of cheating. Nowhere in the world, in the history of the world, do you build a secured society on the altar of marginalization, especially when those feelings are very, very ripe. The world is a global village. People are getting fully aware of what is going on, and everything in the click of a finger, everybody know what is happening. If you want to get the PIB of Canada today, you just a click away. Then when you study it and find out how much are given to the various communities where these are.
So it is all about the money.
The money, they should export the 30%. There is nowhere in the world where money is dedicated for exploration from the money you have.
Thank you.
The new paradigm, which is the global best practices, is to provide a secured and attractive environment for transnational money to flow into your investment. This is what is obtainable in the world, and Nigeria is not an exception.
Thank you so much, gentlemen who've spoken at length. You've heard them. They were able to go deep, bringing out some facts about the Petroleum Industry Bill, which is a PIB. Yes, it's been passed already, but so many persons are really not happy about it. Some are feeling that they are cheated because they are the host communities, while others are saying we are not second-class citizens. Some of the opinion that, look, we are one Nigeria, 30%. If oil is discovered in the north, it is going to, cushion the financial base of the country. So many reactions to that bill. It was supposed to be a thing of joy. How come we are seeing both sides of the coins? Sadness, happiness, sorrow, joy, mixed potpourri of feelings, mixed potpourri of reaction. But from the South region, is that of sadness, betrayal. How do you think this will be sorted out? 3% versus 30%. The 3%, is it worth it? The 30%, is it worth it? With all this happening, what message do you think is being passed across to Nigerians? Think about it. We need peace in the land, even in the face of prevailing security challenges. We'll go on a break. We'll be right back to talk some more on what is happening in Edo State. Don't go anywhere.